everyone! Today I have these two packages to open up. I'm really excited about them. So this top one is an order of doujinshi from Mandarake, and then this bottom one is all of the manga merch that I've gotten the past maybe about 2 months that I finally consolidated my Neokyo order, which is my Japanese proxy service that I use. And they shipped everything. I haven't had a Neokyo package this big in a while, so there's a lot in there. So I'm going to go ahead and get these opened and then go through everything. Okay, I'm back 2 days later. So I unwrapped everything that was in my order and kind of sorted things by how I wanted to talk about them, but it had gotten kind of late, so I just put them aside and wanted to wait until I had the time to just go through everything in one sitting. So basically, I have some books and a bunch of doujinshi, and then sprinkled in with these are a few merch items. So as usual, I will have timestamps below, so you can jump between kind of the types of things and the fandoms and the series that I'm talking about. So I'll go ahead and get right into it. So first I have Volume 8 of Firefly Wedding, the special edition, because it came with a merch item that I really wanted. So this is the cover of the Volume 8. The special edition cover isn't different from the regular Volume 8, but it just came with, I'll show the back too. It just came with this extra item. I've been loving this series too. I am caught up with the Japanese chapters because it's kind of a simulpub release with Kamiki. Whenever the new chapter releases in Japan, it releases on Kamiki. So I'm caught up on those chapters, and I've been collecting the English release, the English physical release as it's been releasing. Volume 3 is the most recent volume that has come out, and I love this series. So I was really excited when I found out about this extra merch item that was going to come with this special edition. I love that this has its own little art, and I wish this had been like a little booklet, but this is just a sleeve to hold the merch item, which is this acrylic stand. Ah! It's so cute. So obviously I haven't set this up yet because I'm just opening it now for the first time, but I think I'm going to do a YouTube short where I set this up, and hopefully by the time this video goes live, I'll have that short prepared. But it's just this really cute little modern day setting of the main characters on a motorcycle riding by the beach, and it's just such a cute little design. But I'm gonna set this up in the next few days probably, and I'll put a link to the YouTube short. But really glad that I found out about this and didn't miss the special edition release. Next, I have a couple items from Bungo Stray Dogs. So I got this little coaster. It's not really a coaster though, because it's just paper, it's not thick. But I had to get this coaster of Mori, and this was one of the collaborations. Oh, it even says here, a collaboration with Raku Spa. But I had to get this one of him because I had already gotten one of Fukazawa, and this is a ship I like in Bungo Stray Dogs. This is my ship, Fukazawa and Mori, as well as Fukazawa and Fukuchi. Those are my two ships. But I wanted to get Mori's too so that I could display these two together. They're so cute! So I'm happy I was able to find this one. And then the other two items I got. So I had picked this one up a while ago. I think when I was in Japan, I bought a handful of these, and this is one that I got. But since then, I have gifted this one to a friend and needed to replace my copy. So I went ahead and ordered this one. And then there was recently announced a new art and a new collection with Oda. And it was actually a connecting cover illustration with Dazai. I'll put a little image up here to show the connecting cover. But I'm trying to keep my collection a little more minimal with Bungo Stray Dogs because I've been collecting a lot of literature in addition to like the light novels and all of my merch. So I'm trying to only keep ones that I will rotate through display. So I only got Oda's, I didn't get Dazai's, but this is Oda's second collection. So I'm really pleased about that. I have his first collection, but these books are just collections in Japanese, of course, of the actual writers that these characters are based on, their works. So I guess this is all from one of his writings. His other, yeah. So Oda's other collection has, I think, 4 short stories or maybe like 8 short stories. I don't remember. I will put a little blurb here with what it contains, but I just think that's really nice. And I'm happy to have another art. I haven't seen this art before. It's not in any of the art books or anything. So had to get this new art of Oda. And then Mori's too, just a collection of some of his works. And then this art and then Oda's other collection, the art from those 2 covers are in the art books. So wasn't missing out on those, but then I'm happy I'll be able to put this one on display. And then next is just one volume of a series that I read this month and I loved it. It's from the series Forest of Piano. This is the volume 24 of the Japanese manga release. I really love this series. I was introduced to it through the anime. I really like the anime. It has 2 seasons and it is all about this boy here, following him when he's in elementary school for about 1/3 of the series. And then there's a time skip till he is in his late teens. And as you can probably tell from this cover, it is all about piano. Unfortunately, this series doesn't have an English print release. And I found out when I was looking into the series before I read it this month that Kodansha did pick up this series for a digital release in 2018, but they only released 10 of the 26 volumes and then they dropped it. So I don't know what that means for us English-speaking fans, whether there will be any potential in the future to get a print release or if they will continue it, but I wanted to get this volume so that I could have some physical representation of this series on my shelf. Volume 24 was my favorite cover illustration. Unfortunately, this is an older series, so I had to buy a used copy and it was a little dirty. Like, I don't really care about the volume having yellowing. There are some like brown spots throughout, but the cover had a little bit of damage and stains on it, but I just loved this cover, front and back cover, but then on the dust jacket, the flaps wrapping around. Shows the whole orchestra, so a lot of the story is focused on a specific competition that the main character competes in. I'm a huge fan of Chopin, and there are a good like 10 to maybe 15 volumes that follow him competing in the International Chopin Piano Competition. So while I read it, I was just listening to performances of the different pieces that the characters were performing while I read, and I just loved it. It was such an enjoyable experience to read while listening to the music. But again, I just really wanted this volume 24 because it had this gorgeous illustration of Kai performing Chopin's Piano Concerto and the orchestra. So I just really wanted to have a piece of this in my collection, and with a cover that I loved that I would be able to put on display. But I am feeling really pessimistic about ever getting this in English print, but who knows? At least I have this for now, but highly, highly recommend the anime. And then the manga is really nice too. There was so much extra nuance between Kai and Ajino and their relationship, even more so than what is in the anime. There is actually romance in this series, but none of that is in the anime, but the manga has that romance in there. But just can't recommend this series enough, either anime or manga. I picked up a couple little BL manga items. So first I have a booklet from the series Offstage Love Side, which is a series that we don't have yet in English print, but I bought the one-shot Offstage Love Side last year, and I love it. It is so funny. It follows an idol and his bodyguard, but it is based on an interaction they had years before he was assigned to him. But after reading this and really loving it, I found out it got a sequel, so I don't know if it's going to be a sequel one-shot or a sequel ongoing, and maybe it will be longer. But the sequel releases in August, and I'm really excited to read it. But so I bought this booklet. It's really thin, and I can't flip through it because it's spicy, but just an extra story it contains. I'm not sure if this was a retailer exclusive or if this was released with a special edition, but I had bought just this one by itself, then found out about this and had to pick it up. But one of the things I like about it, in addition to the extra story in it, is that it has this little character page in the back with details about the characters and these sketches, and then of course this extra illustration on the cover. But this is one I've been requesting in the monthly surveys, Offstage Love Side. It is so funny, really cute, and I really hope it'll get picked up. And then the next item is another booklet, and this one is from the series 10 Things I Want to Do Before I Turn 40, which just has released recently in English from 7seas. And I love this series. It's so cute. It follows two salarymen with an age gap. He's about to turn 40, and he has a lot of things that he wishes he had done earlier in his life. He feels like it's almost too late. So he makes, rather than a bucket list of things to do before he dies, just a bucket list of things he wants to do before his 40th birthday. And then his younger colleague, I believe they have a 10-year age gap, so I think he's 39 and he's 29. But he volunteers to help him with that bucket list, and then the relationship develops from there. But I thought this was a one-shot until I read it after it released in English, and someone mentioned that it got a sequel. So there is a volume 2 of this in Japan, and I hope that 7seas is planning to translate and print that for us, please. But when I was looking into it, I saw that there was a booklet release. This one was released with the drama CD, so it has an extra story in it. And when the drama CD released, this was included with that. I'm not sure if it was the drama CD for the first volume or the second, but I had to get it because since it was with the drama CD rather than the manga release, I knew we probably won't get this little extra story in English, even if we get volume 2. So happy that I found out about this and went ahead and picked it up. And then the last 2 manga volumes that I have in this haul are both by the same mangaka, Tobi Washio sensei, and they're both one-shots. So this one is White Pawn, and this one is Lie or Truth. I have read both of them before, and the reason that I got these two, they're not like favorite one-shots or favorite series, but I really, really like this mangaka, and we don't have anything by them in English. So when I went to Japan 2 years ago, I bought several of her one-shots, and then since then, I've been just with my Japanese proxy orders, I've been picking up 1 or 2 of the one-shots as I go. And these are the last 2 that I was missing. So now I have all of her one-shots, except for her newest one that is still serializing, that hasn't gotten a physical book release yet. I'm a huge fan of her art style. I really like her character designs. She has a lot of taboo themes in her stories, which I don't mind. But all of her series are really spicy, and I'm just so impressed with how different her spicy scenes are from other spicy series that I've read. And I've read a lot, but this is another mangaka that I've been requesting some of her titles with every monthly licensing request because I just really want to get anything, like any of her titles. If they could get picked up by an English publisher, I feel like that would just get her foot in the door to have more of her work picked up. So yeah, so I got these 2 and I'm gonna add them to my Tobi Washio collection. And then before I get into these piles, I have some Love of Kill merch items. So Love of Kill has ended the English release of the Epilogue Volume 14, released in February this year, and the series is over. But I'm still collecting bits of merch that I hadn't picked up yet and hunting for those items that I've been searching for. So first is this little tote, Love of Kill, and it has Ringhan Chateau and a little gardening scene. It's so cute. So I had to have this because this is an art that isn't in either of the art books. So of course I wanted this illustration of them, but I'm also a bit of a tote bag addict. I love tote bags and just using them for different things. So this is my 3rd mini tote and it's my smallest one. So I'm trying to think of how to use it in a way that I can involve it in my daily life, but then also without damaging it or getting it dirty because it's just like light colored and I don't want to stain it or anything like that. My other 2 mini totes are a little bigger and can carry like 5 Kodansha volumes, like as far as the height. But this one is a little smaller, and like these Japanese size volumes are perfect for the height of it. And it was all folded up when I got it. So I've actually been keeping these books the past couple days in here to try to like shape the bag a little so that will hold its shape a little better. So there we go. It's so cute. Ah. Okay, so I already talked about these books, so they can hang out like this, stored inside this bag. So first Love of Kill item was this little tote. It's so cute, and I'm still thinking about how I can use it in my daily life so that I can get little extra bits of Ringha when I'm doing non-manga related things. But the other things that I got, I'll save these for last. But I got a couple of these leaflets. So I've been gradually picking these up. I didn't get any of these with the bromide prints that I've been collecting over the years, and I assume that these were all released as retailer exclusives with the manga volumes when they released. In the past, I think 6 months, I have picked up 2 of them, so I have quite a few I'm still trying to find, but I really like this one of them. Working on a library because, of course, I'm a reader and I have a ton of books. It says 6, so I don't know, maybe it was released in volume 6. And then this one from, I assume, volume 13. They're so cute. And then these arts aren't in the art books and they aren't in the manga. So I have to get them, even though they're just like flimsy little papers. Like, I have to get them because I love Ringha and I just need to have all of the art of him. So then the new ones that I picked up, this one is a little comic panel rather than just an illustration design. And it says 7 on it. Right here. So I'm assuming it was released with volume 7. But I don't know. I wonder if volume 7 has another release from a different retailer, but it even says right here 7. And then this one says 10. Look, his face, he has a little blush from being cold. I assume this is like a first shrine visit of the year or something in the winter. And then a gardening one, so it fits with this design on the tote. This one says 8. And then, yeah, this one says 7. So maybe each volume had an art leaflet, and then some of the volume releases maybe also had a comic leaflet. I don't know. But his ears! He's so cute. And Chateau's ears too. Need to find all of these. So I have 6 now, and I know that there are a lot more that I don't know about. So gonna just be hunting those down when I make my orders from Mercari Japan. And then these are really special. I haven't set them up yet, but they're just little chibi acrylic stands. And I have been searching for these for years. So there have been a handful of collabs that Love of Kill has done with graph art, which is the design that these are in. Some of the ones that I've found in the past were like these 2 festival ones. And each of the releases has had several characters, not just Ringha and Chateau, but the other characters in the cast as well. But I just need to collect all the Ringha and Chateau ones. So this festival one, them in yukata, they're so cute. I love this art style of their cute little round faces and their little dark eyes. And then this rainy day design. And again, this was a whole line that had other characters too, but I just really wanted these ones. And then the only other one I had been able to find was this like cafe barista Ringha. And he's so cute, but I was frustrated because I knew that Chateau had a matching one. And there were 2 other lines that I hadn't been able to find yet. So when I had this last order open, I was thrilled that I was able to find these ones. So Chateau's matching cafe design. Now they're together. Yay! And then part of this line, there were some other characters with this kind of cafe barista setting, but then this one was actually part of this line as well, of like a maid cafe or like butler cafe kind of thing. And they didn't have individual stands. They just had this couple one of them together. And look at him! Look at his suit! He's so dapper, even though he's just a cute little chibi. But it has been years that I've been searching for these, so I was so happy. Like, I was screaming when I found them and trying to order them. And I didn't want to get my hopes up because I was a little worried that after I put the order in, that there might be an issue with the proxy receiving these, or the buyer would cancel the order or something. So it wasn't until these orders arrived to the warehouse in Japan that I finally celebrated, but then I was still trying not to get my hopes up just in case anything went wrong with my order shipping to me here in the United States. But they've arrived and I'm so happy. And then these last two are part of the Casino line. And how cool that Love of Kill got to have these different collabs with graph art. Something on that one. But this one was a casino themed one. And again, there were other characters that had little designs, but had to get these two. He has his little chips and she's got a card. I'm so happy though. I'm gonna get these on my shelves this week. The next series that I have a couple things for is NieR Automata, and it's just a couple trading cards that I picked up for my husband. He is a big fan of this game, but then also the light novels and manga adaptations, and he's collecting the card game in full. So just with every order that we make, we're trying to just find a couple that he's missing and just throw them into the order. And these are the ones we picked up this time. From Build Divide, but happy we were able to find these ones for him. I need to check with his current ISO to see how close we are, because he has quite a lot, and I think we're pretty close to completing the card game, apart from the ones that are really expensive. Like, we're gonna skip all the autographed ones because those will be really hard to find. Okay, now into these piles over here. Before I get into the doujinshi, I have some really exciting art collections. So some of them are official and some are not, but these first two are official art books from the anime. We had been wondering for a while, like, why there wasn't some kind of art book or fan book for the anime. Because we are big fans of the series Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai. We love the anime. We've been collecting the novels, but just recently found out that these are the official art book releases for the anime. And they're called Painting, which covers season 1 and the first movie. And then Painting 2, which covers the next 2 movies. So I'm hoping that there will be a Painting 3 that will cover season 2. But it just has some of the key visuals from the series. And then kind of collections of little shots from the different episodes. There isn't text though, so it's just art. But I love the art style of the anime. Some keyframes. Super, super happy that we found this. So I haven't watched, well, neither of us have watched the next 2 movies, so the second and third movie. We've read the content in the light novels though, so before season 2 airs, we're planning to watch these 2 movies, so that will be ready to get into chibis. So that will be ready to get into season 2 when it airs. And I think these are arts done by the staff from the anime. So they're in different styles, which I think is so cool. So that is a good segue into the next thing that we got. This type of thing. So we went on a Rascal hunt for official merch, and we also found this book. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of like a staff book. So I have 3 staff books for Attack on Titan that are from different seasons of the anime with art contributions from the staff of the anime. And so I believe this is the same kind of thing where the different people that worked on the anime contributed little bits of art. So I love that we were able to find this. But it's been years since we first watched Rascal and really loved the anime, so I'm glad that we finally have been able to find some physical merch of the series, like besides the light novels and the manga adaptation. And then the next 2 are also Rascal, and then I have a bit more Rascal off to the side, but these 2 books have character designs too, and this is all art by the artist that did the character designs for the anime. So this one is called Bunny Girl, and then this one is Bunny Many Girls. So this one just has different designs of the kind of main female roles of the different stories. And this one continues. And then also like some profiles or details about the designs, which we haven't read yet. But really glad to have this extra bit of content. And I view it as official because it is by the official artist. And then the rest of the Rascal stuff we picked up is fan art, but it's all fan art by the same artist. And everything is so unique and cool. So this was a really interesting release. I forget what it's called. The listing said like the type of thing it is because it's based on like old binding and the way that they would like fold the pages. But it just has the characters. It came with an art print. It has the characters in traditional clothing. And I believe they said in the listing, and they had photos too, that if you took the binding off, this is all one piece of paper and you can just stretch it out. But I like having it in book form, so planning to keep it like this. This is so funny. She has her kimono underneath her like leather jacket. And then this next book is like a kind of glamour fashion fan art collection. I've seen one of these for Oshinoko as well, where they just have them in like kind of glamorous outfits. But this one also came with a few paper merch items, a sweet bullet ticket. also this print autographed by the artist. And then the last item is another art collection, but this one also came with a poster. Actually, this art was in this book, so I don't remember if these two art books came together in the same listing, but it came with this poster and this additional art collection. And I believe everything from this artist was on booth and everything was still in stock, so they're probably still available. But this one has an autograph as well. Another print. But I like their creativity with their different designs. But happy we got all this Rascal stuff because we've been in such a hype for Rascal because we're both reading through all the novels right now. The series just ended in Japan with, I think, the 15th light novel. And then season 2 of the anime is airing soon. So yay, happy to have all this stuff. Okay, and then the rest of all of this is fan books and doujinshi. Except for these trading cards. I saved them because I was gonna go into my Sanji doujinshi, but I'll go through these cards that we got in the mail with this order. So I typically order my trading cards from TCG Republic. I collect Sanji in full in Japanese, and then I also collect Sanji's cards from the English card game, Chinese. I have a French card that I'm looking for. When they have unique art that isn't part of the Japanese card game. But these ones that I picked up secondhand from Mercari Japan with my Neokyo order are cards that were a bit more expensive on TCG Republic that I was able to find a secondhand listing for quite a bit cheaper, just secondhand on Mercari, so that's how I picked them up. So really happy to have these now. I'm gonna be getting a new card album soon. I've outgrown my smaller card album and am upgrading to a larger one and a binder rather than an album with fixed pages. So these are my Sanji ones, and then this is my Sanji in Nami's body one. I think I have one other one like this. I don't collect Nami, but when it's Sanji, then I do collect it. And then this pudding one because Sanji's in the background. And then these two are for my husband, Hancock and Robin. He collects Hancock, Robin, Vivi, and Reiju. I think just those 4, but those are for him. And then getting into my doujinshi, I have this whole stack here is Kakashi and Iruka, so I'll go through that last. And then here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fandoms. So first I have ZoSan. So I got this anthology, 2 bounties, and it is entirely ZoSan stories. I don't remember if this one is R18. I don't think it is. but it's a mix of comics and little novels. So I actually recently bought the part 2 of this, and I didn't realize it until I got it that it was a part 2. So then I found out about this part 1 and had to get it because I love the covers. I'll put up the second volume cover, but then the spines are matching too, and then I just really like the art style. Like, every comic is by a different artist, but I love how it all looks. So I haven't read the first, or well, this is the first one. I haven't read the second one yet, and then I haven't read this one, obviously, I just got it. But I'm really excited to go through and read all these little short stories. And then, oh, are these upside down? And then I got this one that follows baby Sanji with Zeph when he's on the brassiere. And this was a cover buy, but it just was so cute seeing this cover. I just wanted to have it, if anything, just for the art on the cover, but excited to read this one too. This one I already had. I'm collecting all of the doujinshi by this artist. I follow them on all of their social media, on Twitter, Blue Sky, Pixiv, and this, I believe, was their 3rd DJ release. And I bought it from them when it released, but I gifted my copy to a friend and needed to replace my copy, so I was able to find the secondhand one. Ooh. I was able to find the secondhand one. I don't know why I flipped through it. This one's rated mature. I'll make sure that's blurred out. But this one's actually a Sanzo one, but I have read this one and I really love this artist's art style. And then this one, Liquor, Cigarettes, Swords, and Food. This one is pretty skinny, but he looked so cute. It was a cover buy because Sanji looked cute on the cover, and it was only like 100 or 200 yen. So I went ahead and picked it up. So I'll be looking forward to reading some of these new ones. I have been making an effort this year to read through my doujinshi. So it just takes a lot of time to kind of translate, especially the ones that have novel chapters. But it's been really fun seeing all these extra little bits of Sanji content. The next 3 books are all Gojo fan art books by the same artist. Oh, here it is. This is the artist name. So I was recently gifted one of their Gojo art books by a friend, and then she told me that they actually had several of them. Like, I think they had like 9 Gojo books, and then in addition to the Gojo ones, they had a bunch of Satosugu ones that had more ship illustrations. But I wanted to pick some of these up. These ones are not mature, so I can share them. But just color illustrations in their art style, gorgeous. So I wanted to pick all of these up. Well, I say all of these, but I only got 3 of them. So I'm keeping an eye out for the other ones. Toji is my favorite in JJK, but then Gojo is my next favorite. And I love the different like scenes and just him doing things that he doesn't do in the manga and anime. Next, I have one SakuAtsu DJ. And normally if this had just like, if I had been scrolling through DJs, I probably wouldn't have picked this one up, but I have this artist 2 other doujinshi, so I just thought I will get it and then I'll have all of their collection. But this one is Succubus Atsumu can do it all by himself. So I will get into that later and see what that's all about. But I'm a big fan of SakuAtsu. They're my ship in Haikyu. And I have a bit of a collection of doujinshi and fanfics that follow them as a couple. Next, from Resident Evil, a couple of Leon and Ada Wong doujinshi. My husband has been playing through the games recently, and so I've just been kind of enjoying passively watching because like the jump scares kind of freak me out in Resident Evil, but these are kind of nice. I believe these are by the same artist, so picked these ones up and looking forward to getting into them. And then the rest of these are, well, most of them are CloTi zines, Cloud and Tifa, but this one is also with Aerith. This one, I read this one as soon as we got it because I like the art style and I was curious what the story was going to be about. And it was not quite what I was expecting, but I should have known based on the order of the names here on the back. But this one was fun, super raunchy though, but I'm kind of excited for my husband to read it to see what he thinks. But these are gonna go in his collection. These ones here, these three are by the same artist. This one is like a group one, not just following Cloud and Tifa. But this is another one he's been playing through Final Fantasy VII, and I've just been enjoying kind of getting the story while he's playing and seeing all the characters. So these three are adding to his shelf. And then one more. And he was kind of excited when he found some of these on Mandarake and Surugaya. And I wanted to just kind of treat him because he has his own doujinshi collection, just like I have my own doujinshi collection. But as you can see, like I just go nuts when it comes to doujinshi, so I wanted to spoil him a little and get him some treats. Everything else in the video is gonna be KakaIru, so Kakashi and Iruka from Naruto. And there is a lot of new stuff in this pile. So I've been collecting doujinshi of this ship since December of last year. So it's been like 8 months now, and I've just like gone crazy. I've bought so much. I've read so much of it and loved it. With my last order of KakaIru DJs, I was able to like almost complete some of my collections by artist. So I have a few favorite artists that do doujinshi, and I wanted to collect their entire like catalog of doujinshi in full. And so I was able to do that for some of them, and then a few of these are continuations of artists that I already collect, and then a lot of these are new ones. So new artists that I haven't read their stuff yet. Some of these are older doujinshi following older circles that I just hadn't collected at all. So I was just wanting to give some new things a try and just see what I think. So honestly, I need to update my spreadsheet, but I don't know what the titles are because they're in Japanese. I have the titles all written down like on my notepad. So when I update my spreadsheet, I'll have all of those on there, as well as links to all of the artists and some of their storefronts and social media. But for now, I'm just gonna kind of show the covers. I don't know which ones are R18 if they're not like labeled really clearly, so I'm not gonna flip through any of them, but I'll just go through and show each one. But this first doujinshi, I got a couple merch items because they were listed on their booth account, and they were so cute. So little Kakashi in the Anbu, and then little Iruka. So teeny and so cute. And they were really cheap too, so I just picked up their doujinshi and then added these to the cart too. But then those little stands came with these little sticker sheets. And then the doujinshi came with the same sticker sheets. Plus this little round one. I'll flip through this first DJ because I know it's not R18. But it follows them as little cats. So Kakashi and Iruka. Nyan. KK Nyan and IR Nyan. So cute. Excited to read this. But just a little cute short thing. And then also some of these are anthologies, so they're a little thicker. So excited to get into these. I feel like I'm gonna be just like trying new things out, trying out some new circles, trying out some new artists and writers, because some of these are novels. So a lot of these are cover buys, because I love Iruka and he is stunning on this cover. So I'm probably gonna end up reading through them and having some that were just okay, and maybe I'll unhaul those ones, and then finding some that I love and then I'll want to collect like everything by that artist. So this is one that I have everything that they've released so far. I think they've released like 20 doujinshi, and this was the last one that I was missing. So this one follows a little Iruka, but they have a bunch of like spicy ones with them as adults, but wanted to get this one to complete my collection of theirs. This one was a cover by Coffee Shop. I know this one has a part 2, so I'm planning to pick up the part 2 as well. But I just assume I'll like this because I like the art style, and then I love like the coffee shop setting ones. Saito, I have some of their stuff. So I got this one. But this one's a log, so I don't think this one's not R18, so I'll flip through. But whenever there are logs, they usually are just like miscellaneous shorter comics or different arts. And when it's just a fan book, then it just usually is like one story. But a couple little comics and then just bits of art sprinkled throughout too. This one was an anthology project with multiple artists for an event. And I'm really excited to read it. It's R18, so I can't flip through, but this one too is a mix of comics and novels. And I was about to flip through it. I have already flipped through it, and I'm really excited because the art style is really cute on all the comics, and just like every 2 comics, there will be a short novel chapter. So looking forward to getting into this one. This one I really wasn't sure because this cover was all I could see, and then I just saw that it was an anthology kind of zine project. And so I hoped that there would be like at least a couple different artists that contributed that I would like the art style and maybe look into, but the whole thing looks really cute, so I'm excited to get into it. This one is a novel. Actually, I think it's a collection of a few different ones by the same writer. But I got this one because I love this cover. I have some of the doujinshi by the artist that did the cover for this novel. But then inside, it's a different writer. So they just did the art cover. So I am going to read this, but I'm going to have to plan when I have time to go through because novels take a lot of energy from my brain to get them translated to be able to read them. And then this one is a new artist that I follow, I think on Blue Sky. Oh, probably shouldn't flip through it just in case. But I think they have a couple more now that if I like this one, I'm going to pick them up. So I'm excited to read it. And then this one, actually, yeah, so this is the same artist. So I think they released these 2 at the same time. So I got both of these, and then they have a new one already. So looking forward to reading these. This one's an anthology. It's thick. I don't know how many there are in here, but I think it's like an anthology of one artist's doujinshi, so I'll check it out and see what I think and decide from there if I want to try to collect more of their stuff. Next is another, I think this is another Saito. Yeah. So I have a few of their doujinshi. They have a lot, so I've just been kind of picking the ones that have covers that I like and hoping that I will like them. So if I enjoy some of theirs, I'll pick up some more. And then this one looked really cute of them. It's like, it says Pomegaverse, which is so funny, like Omegaverse, but it's with Pomeranians. But yeah, another Saito. It's so cute because one of the little, I think it's a little cat and then a little dog, but one is supposed to be like Iruka and then one is like Kakashi. Oh, well, this one's not R18, so I think I think it's safe, yeah. I like their art style. So cute. Actually, I wonder if they turn into the dogs or the dog and cat, or if they find ones that look like them. I don't know. I'll find out. And then I think this one is also an anthology of a couple DJs. Again, this one was a cover by like wanting to try out a new artist. I hope I'll like it. I mean, obviously, if I buy something, I hope that I'll like it. But I'll find out. This one is really skinny, but hoping I'll like it. I'm curious though, it says, "You are confined." He's pressing up against glass. I don't know. This one was another cover buy because Kakashi has ears. But, oh, it's so cute. But yeah, I hope I like this one. It looks like it's gonna be really cute, so high hopes for this one. This one is an old man yaoi one. Them when they're older. So some of the last couple ones were by the same artist, but then I haven't read any of them yet. I haven't read anything from this artist, so I don't just like recognize it, but I'll have a better idea once I read a couple of them. And then the last one is this one. I think this is a new artist for me too, but it's one that I follow on Blue Sky, so I have high hopes for it. And then I know that they've since released another one or two, so I'm gonna need to get these read quick so that I can pick up their new ones and just feel positive about that. I love the texture on the letters though. Just little details make them really fun. So this is everything. I'm not gonna pull all the little merch items back out, but just all these piles of things that now I'm gonna try to find spots for them. I've been in such anticipation of this order because it's been like 2 months of ordering things. I had a few things pre-ordered since like 3 months ago. And the Neokyo order had, I believe it was 58 items in it. So that was like individual doujinshi, the trading cards, the standees. So I was just so excited to get this all in the mail and look through it. I feel a little overwhelmed by all of this, all of this KakaIru content that I'll be able to enjoy, but I'm gonna feel all this pressure to just like, I have to read it. But definitely some of the highlights, like I always love getting more doujinshi in, but some of my big highlights were the Love of Kill standees. I'm so happy, like I literally for years have been searching for these. And then the Rascal art books, I'm so glad we found those. I'm really excited to put together the Firefly Wedding acrylic standee, and I'm super glad I was able to find these booklets. I've been really enjoying this mangaka's work. Been reading some of their other one-shots, and then this one too, Mamita. They also are the ones that did Metalhead Next Door. I really like their art style and their stories too. But cannot wait to get all of this put up and to start reading all of these doujinshi. But I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I feel like this is going to be another super long one, so thank you so much if you stuck around, and I'll see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching!